Award 2015, CII Award for Outstanding Performance, Food Tasty Laboratory Award 2018, and Outstanding Entrepreneur Award 2019. So please have a huge round of applause for her. Now joining her, there are three trailblazing women in science and industry who are pushing boundaries and setting new benchmark in analytical research. First, we have Dr. Fatima Jabalpurwala. I request Dr. Fatima Jabalpurwala to come on a dais and take her seat. Dr. Fatima Jabalpurwala, who brings over 22 years of rich experience in research and development across the food, home care, and personal grooming sector. She currently serves as the Global Analytical AMEI Head and Digital Lead for Consumer and Analytical Sciences at Mondelez. Prior to this, Dr. Jabalpurwala held key roles at leading global organizations such as Gillette, Procter & Gamble, and Hindustan Lever. She is also an esteemed alumni of the University of Florida, USA. So, yes, we welcome you, ma'am. Next, we have Leena Babrekar. I request her to join the dais. Leena Babrekar is analytical and quality professional with over 20 years of experience in the food and pharmaceutical industry. Currently at General Mills, she has led key initiatives in analytical method development, regulatory compliance, and quality management systems. Her expertise spans HPLC, LCMS, MS, ISO standards, and business continuity planning. Leena holds an MPharm, is a certified lead auditor for food safety, and is currently pursuing a leadership program from IIM Indore. Her prior work at Wokhard Limited laid a strong foundation in bioanalytical testing and pharma regulations. So we welcome you, ma'am. Last but not the least, we have Dr. Kavita Pandey. I request Dr. Kavita Pandey to join the panel. She is currently heading the Department of Bioanalytical Sciences at GN Khalsa College. Her MSc and PhD have been in Bioanalytical Sciences from Mumbai University. She has 13 years of experience and is a passionate researcher. She excels in bioprocess technology, functional food, probiotics, prebiotics, product development, bioanalysis, and pharmaceutics. She has 28 research publications and 2 book chapters to her credit. She is also recipient of grants from University of Mumbai, DST, Government of India. She is a life member of bodies like AFST and other. So please have a big round of applause for all the dignitaries on the dais. Now I humbly request Dr. Amritkar to take the session forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. First of all, I would like to thank AFSTI, Mumbai chapter, and Analytical Lab India for giving this opportunity, especially to all women panel. We were just discussing, me and Dr. Fatma, is that how many of you are surprised that for a discussion on AI, there is a complete women panel? I think, Fatima, this needs to be asked. How many of you are surprised? Because yes, so I think we have a great job to do now. So yeah, but thank you FSTI again and Analytica Lab India. And I would also like to thank Dr. Pradeep Chakravarti sir. I think he summarized the use of AI in food industry very well. And taking this ahead, I think we will just start our panel discussion. Just before that, would like to just introduce you to the panel, to the questions that we'll be discussing. So basically, the food industry currently is going under a transformation. And this transformation shift is basically because of the new age technology. We call it AI, a lot of ML learning, basically machine learning, next generation tools, and also a lot of automation. So these technologies are redefining how laboratory testing is carried out to ensure food and food quality and safety. It also is reshaping how product developments are done, how the consumer testing is done. So the next generation tools like say biosensors and portable spectrometers are making testing possible outside the lab. So gone are the days when we just think that testing needs to be done only in the four walls of the lab. You can actually do it on site now. So these are the kind of innovations that we are looking at. And to give you a real life experience, we have these three amazing panel members, and we will start our discussion now. So my first question is going to be Lina. Please feel free, if the other panel members, you have to add anything to it, please feel free. So the first question is to Lina, is that from a manufacturer's point of view, how are AI and automation in food testing impacting quality control and safety of the food products? So for example, when you have a batch to release the final product, so how is that impacting? Is AI helping you, and how do you deal with? Is it making it faster basically?
So, hello, and thank you for giving this. Yeah, so I hope everybody is able to hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you AFSTI for giving this opportunity to me to represent as a part of this panel. So to answer your question, Dr. Preeti, AI is impacting the food products right from the raw materials, like inventory management can be done through smart sheets. Then after that, there is predictive modeling, which can help in identifying the shelf life in quite a short amount of time. Like earlier, it used to be through accelerated testing, but nowadays there are predictive models which use algorithms, and we can identify and we can set shelf life of products. That is one of the amazing AI tool that we are using currently. Apart from that, through the supply chain as well, like how is the product behaving when it is in supply chain? Like there are smart sensors which are monitoring temperature and humidity, and we are able to gauge like how is the product behaving under those temperature humidity conditions during transit. When it comes to manufacturing, there are these NIR based testing applications, because of which in process and real time batch analysis can be done. Like earlier it used to be like testing the product, testing the products for compliance and batch release and all, but now because of these automated NIR tools, it's it's enabling the food business operators and manufacturers to save time and have real time data. So all this is helping in having, it's reducing the time of batch, testing as well as product release into the markets.
So it's increasing the operational efficiency of the entire food
Yes,
product chain.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Lina. My next question is going to be to Dr. Fatma. Is that how are the next generation tools like AI and rapid analytics, or there are IoT-based techniques these days? So are they helping you in accelerating your product development cycles? You know, because you have them, can you bring a product in really short time to the market? Has it helped you?
Absolutely. Thank you. First, just want to check, am I audible to everybody? Okay. Better? Okay, thanks. So first of all, thank you everybody. Thank you to the organizing team and AFSTI and Analytica. It's a huge privilege to be part of this esteemed panel today. A topic which is a hot topic in the industry, and I think, as Dr. Pradeep mentioned, food industry is not behind in this journey. Lot of advances have been made in the food industry. Of course, a large component of use of AI and advanced tools, rapid tools have been applied in manufacturing, supply chain. But equally so, there is a huge application today in the R&D function. My 20-year career has been spanned in the R&D journey, and I'm talking about the pre-computer era where everything used to be manually recorded on lab notebooks, to now where everything is digitized, everything gets automated. Absolutely, I think with the consumer trends, with the the VUCA world we live in, with so many uncertainties, business challenges, geopolitical issues, there is always a very high demand to accelerate our processes in R&D as well, and to make sure we are meeting the consumer needs and desired experiences rapidly. Using AI, using advanced technologies is an integrated and multidisciplinary approach in my view. It's not just from an analytical perspective, but it's also how we connect with our consumers today. The consumers are, no longer just shopping in the physical stores. They are, a lot of it happens in the digital arena, and our consumers are now more virtual than they ever have been. So the technology of AI has advanced to a level where we can connect with our consumers in these virtual spaces much more, get to much deeper, richer insights in terms of what their needs are, and then translate those needs into what are the innovations that are really going to appeal to our consumers. All of this is today AI has a big role to enable that. And of course, when it comes to doing the physical trials and testings, a large component of that has now been replaced by using digital models where you connect or make predictive models to link up recipe formulation changes, use analytical characterization of your food matrices. How does that relate to the consumer experience? How much of this can you actually predict in the virtual digital world versus actually doing physical trials and testings in your pilot plants, your laboratories? So a lot of those applications today exist and are a reality in R&D. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Fatma. So I think, as rightly said, I think, again, we are talking about bringing a product into a market which is really fast, and that too as per what customers want, as per what consumers want. So I think that's a great achievement if we are really able to do that. I think it's nice. The next question is to Dr. Kavita. Since you come from the academic background, Kavita, I just wanted to know how are the academic institutes coping up with the ever-increasing influence of AI, automation, and new tools of testing? And what curriculum innovations do you think institutes or academia needs to have in order to cope up with the pace at which the technology is moving?
Thank you for the question. I'll again take the privilege to thank AFST for making me a part of this session today. So coming from bioanalytical domain, academics already is a multidisciplinary component when it comes to bioanalysis. And we are mostly catering to pharma as well as food and cosmetics and all these aligned areas. And when it comes to students as byproduct, I mean, the end product that reaches the industry, we have to somewhere give them flavor of what they're going to experience in the industry. And somewhere with the advancements that are happening in AI, automation and all, we have to give the flavor to the students. We will not be able to train them in the academia per se, because by the time we actually train the student, the dynamics of the thing has already changed. Yes. Coming to the coping up part, to be very honest, academics works at a different pace compared to that of the industry. So we can't really match the pace with the industry, but somewhere in terms of contribution of manpower, we have to stay abreast and fill in the flavors of those components in the students. So we do keep a lot of workshops, a lot of trainings, couple of experts that are called for handholding to the students, just sensitizing them as to what lies ahead and how they can specialize into this. So we connect the students in terms of where these trainings are happening and all of that. And going to the third level where, in order to understand something like machine learning, the student has to know something like R, something like, coding. So these kind of things, we have made it compulsory in our curriculum, where the student is getting acclimatized to these computational tools and is able to integrate it to whichever platform he or she wants to. For example, they want to get into healthcare, bioinformatics, cancer, so on and so forth. If they want to get into food testing, again, they can upgrade themselves with whatever knowledge they have and whichever field they want to get into. So as academics, we can just provide them the platform of sensitization one and give them the direction where they can get trained. The other component of the question was about how we are coping up in terms of the curriculum. So with National Education Policy 2020 seeping in, we have already added a lot of verticals to the component. Um, if I have to be honest as an academician, it does pinch my heart that some of the core elements and core papers have been, gone. But at the same time, if I look at the future perspective, the same student is going to get multiple components as, exposure to. So somewhere that adds to the dynamism of this particular student when he or she enters the industry, how they can, integrate different points and pick up whichever industry they go into. So I think that's all from my end.
Yeah, thank you, Kavita. I think that was a very apt answer, because when I also look at these things, I am also quite, I wouldn't say, I become nervous that, when I'm studying food sciences, my core subject has to be food sciences, right? Not coding or not something. But I think that's the whole essence, that you, once you understand this, I think it will give you much more, wings to fly. So I think it's also a necessity. The next question is to again Leena, is that do you use any AI automation or new generation tools in your in-house factory maybe, or at your production site? I just wanted to know.
Yeah, so we are using NIR for batch release criteria, like having in-process batch monitoring using NI in our manufacturing plants using NIR. And apart from that, in our R&D, we are using modeling like predictive modeling in terms of moisture isotherm for detecting shelf life, for establishing shelf life of products. In our US lab, like because I work for Medallion, which is which also has a global lab presence, and there in that lab we are using e-nose and e-tongue. Yeah. So we are using those as well for doing of flavor analysis, or finding, looking at the flavors as well as the taste profile. So those tools are also being used. Yeah, these are some of the tools, and apart from that, we are looking at consumer listening as well. Like it is a tool which can help us in looking at the trends that the consumers are following, and then basis those we can, it helps in product development, looking at how the consumers are giving feedback about a product, or what is going on in the industry which can be imbibed into our product development. So yeah, those are some of the tools that we are using.
Nice.
Yeah.
So e-nose and e-tongue. Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Leena. My next question is to Dr. Fatma, is that all of this, the AI platforms, the ML, a lot of data, libraries, even the new generation tools, all of this comes at a cost, and I'm sure it needs some prerequisites. So what do you think are those prerequisites in your area of expertise, like product development and consumer testing?
Yeah, I think this is a very relevant question, a very important question, because as glamorous as AI, ML, advanced techniques, technologies sound, I think there are some really fundamental building blocks that we should think about from and future forward or future back thinking. What happens in, at least in larger organizations, which are multinational companies with hundreds of manufacturing sites, the same brand, same product may be manufactured at different sites. So there needs to be a strategic program in place first of all, before you even get into establishing these advanced technologies. You need to do some baselining in terms of making sure because AI at the end of the day is based on the data you generate, right, from an analytical point of view. The assumption today is any analytical data is fit for purpose, and it's accurate, it's precise, it's the right quality. But we know that depending on the type of instrument you use, the type of methodologies you use, you may get variation in your data, and you cannot have variable data to make predictive modeling out of. So a lot of that bench work needs to be done to establish harmonized methodologies. Even if they are basic analytical measurements, they need to be harmonized, they need to be established. And Beyond that, I think for AI to succeed really, you also need advances in the analytical arena itself in terms of hyperspectral imaging as a great example. You need large, complex chemical data sets to be available for AI to utilize that information, which is not otherwise possible humanly to process. So you need to feed AI some really rich data, which is anchored in data quality. So the first prerequisite really is data quality, and then from an analytical perspective, having advances in your analytical measurements. Beyond that, it is, yes, comes at a big cost. But to do it right, I think is even more important. So partnering, having an enterprise level strategy and investment versus different functions doing their own thing and looking at inspirations locally, think strategically, combine your R&D and manufacturing and supply chain to have one digital solution in place, for example, right? Because at the end of the day, you want this whole blockchain to work right from farm to fork, and it needs metadata, it needs contextual data, it needs traceability of data. So having a common place for centralizing all the insights and data you generate, I think is another very big prerequisite. And because we have Dr. Kavita here on the panel, I think having future readiness in terms of training our workforce to be digitally savvy, and then having future scientists coming from academia who are already trained in the discipline of digital and application of advanced technologies, I think are some of the prerequisites.
Absolutely, great answer. I think data is the new oil, they say. But what kind of data? As she rightly pointed out, I think it's a quality data that we need to feed in, and only then you will get good results. So that's very important point. I think we do have some time, right? That's the last question. Okay. So maybe to Dr. Kavita, is that, just your quick comment, Kavita, is that heavy reliance on automation and AI and all of that, do you think it can lead to less practice in the fundamentals of the lab, lab work that generally the students are supposed to do? So do you think it will affect their problem solving capacity or troubleshooting? What's your quick comment on that? I mean, you can also comment, of course, the other panelists.
A simple yes, because automation, no doubt, when it comes to mass numbers, when it comes to application, I mean, we just heard a lot of examples where it is working great. But imagine a person, I mean, in HPLC, for example, you inject anything and it will give you an output. But does it really make sense is what the interpretation where it comes in. If a person is injecting some sample, preparing some sample and getting some output, which is a standard process, but then is it really correct? That's where troubleshooting, what went wrong in the column, why is this peak, fronting, tailing, whatever. So somewhere troubleshooting comes in when you are doing the science starting in a conventional way. So that's where we academics, that's what I said, we can't match pace with industry because we are running slow, we are starting from the conventional sciences. But if we try to take a jump, if we want to escape those conventional methods and directly go to automation, I'm afraid that the student might just learn the operation, but it's not the operation that makes a good analyst. It has to be the interpretation, the troubleshooting, the chemistry that goes behind. So I would say, I mean, being an optimistic person, I would say they should definitely learn the A, B, C's first, and then probably like we do in kindergarten, 2-letter words, 3 alphabet words, and so on. So slowly getting the grip on the subject, having a good confidence level, and then switching to automation is going to give fantastic analysts to the industry. That's my take on that.
Correct. Thank you, Kavita. I think, yeah, please, sir. You want to add something? You have a question for her. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yes.
So I think very well put, all panelists. I think any technology, it is only as powerful as the purpose it serves. So if the purpose is to have real good food safety, quality, I think if that is if that will be served by AI and the new age technologies, I think we are on the right track. But at the same time, any new technology, look at the smartphones, or even the 3D printing, all of it, these are new technologies, but they do take some time to be to become mainstream. So I'm sure even if AI and new generation techniques, they have a lot of potential, but I think it is, at least it is going to take another 10 years because a lot of people are still learning. And I think that's the whole essence. So we are on that journey. And as again would like to mention that if the purpose that they're going to serve, if that is correct, then I think we should embrace it. So thank you
If I
panel
may
members.
add just one
You wanna
point
add?
here. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to add one point. So it's like automation, no one can escape. So end of the day, we all have to come to that platform. But probably collaboration is what I would just like to, I wanted to highlight that word actually, collaboration, that as academicians, we are providing something. So when industry also collaborates with us, the end product, again, the manpower, the future manpower that is going to come to you is going to be better, equipped to serve your purposes. So somewhere collaboration is what I would just like to give
So
as a
I also
word of
wanted to
thought.
ask you this, as what do you expect from the industry? I mean, how can industry help academia? If you have any suggestions, how
Yeah.
can be
So one thing that has been going on, for example, is on-job trainings or internships that we, set up our students for with. So during that exposure, getting them sensitized to all these platforms is definitely going to be a plus. Second thing, we have invited talks and short trainings in colleges. So sometimes getting equipped with certain technologies may demand money, and management may or may not really be in favor of that. So in that case, many of the industries have CSR activities. So as a part of that, if they can, willingly on a goodwill basis come to the institutes, the end product, the gain is of the industry because they get better, smarter, manpower to serve them. So I think that's what I would like to
So
end
that's
with.
the appeal from the academia to the industry, that they finally it is going to benefit all of us.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have one question to Professor Lina. You said you are using e-tongue and e-nose. That e-tongue and e-nose, is it from USA or India? Because the taste differs.
Yes,
The base is which country? That's what I'm asking.
so we are not using it over here as of now. We are using it in the
Oh,
global lab, and
okay,
it
okay.
is basis the USA, and it's basis like the chemical components.
Because if it is used in India, it may not work.
Of course, it may not work, and those are the limitations of AI tools also. Like the human tongue is such that it cannot be reproduced, and there are taste preferences that differ from individual to individual. So that perspective is always going to be there.
Thank you.
And yeah, to add to the discussion that we had here, so ultimately, AI depends upon what is fed into it, and that requires expertise. So the better precise and accurate data which is fed into the AI tools, it will behave in a much better way. So it has to go hand in hand. It's not that we can just rely on AI, but there has to be deep scientific research, and there has to be data which should be accurate and precise, which should go into it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lina. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, audience, for patiently listening and also interacting with the panel members. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for this engaging panel discussion. Now moving forward, it's my privilege to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Shankar Kausle. I request Dr. Shankar Kausle to come on a stage. Dr. Shankar Kausle is a senior scientist at TCS Research. He completed his PhD in chemical engineering from ICT Mumbai. His research interests include water and wastewater treatment, food quality prediction, and functional coatings. He is one of the inventor of Tata Swachh, the nanotech water purifier launched in the Indian market in 2009 as one of the world's most cost-effective water purifier. He is also a recipient of the DST Lockheed Martin Tata Trust India Innovation Growth Program 2018 award. Dr. Shankar has filed over 30 unique patents and more than 20 foreign filings and has received grants for more than 20 patents. He has also published over 30 articles in peer-reviewed scientific journal. He is a certified water specialist from the Water Quality Association USA. He is also the member of the GIA, Germany, and an alumnus of the INEAS. He will bring sharing insights on topic food digital twins, a move towards sustainable world. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you for nice introduction. Yeah. So, uh, as in the introduction, it was mentioned I was working in this water, and so since 2016-17, this AI digitization, it was like getting the shape, and the food industry is one where we thought like let's say explore what all we can do here. So in the food, more than 30% of food get wasted, and at other side there are a lot of people who are not getting enough food. With the increase in population, the demand for food is increasing, and how to feed this population or increased population by 2050 will be a big challenge. So do we need to produce more, or shall we reduce whatever the wastage we are doing and avoid so that delta? At the same time, in the supply chain, the nutritional content, what is being deteriorating, how we can avoid those losses, and how we can extend the shelf life, and so on. And by doing this, how we can help the environment, reduce the global this carbon footprint, and this other this gas release. So with this, so I will start this in the supply chain as we were discussing. So when the food starts the journey from the farm, so one thing, the time keep on clicking, and the other thing is this environmental conditions which food is exposed in the farm versus in the cold storage, in the processing, so that keep on changing. And that complete scenarios, environment, and time determine the shelf life. So there are like multiple techniques with which we predefine the shelf life, but many times what happen in the journey, sometimes it is not in a control, specifically when we transport the food from one geography to another geography, or in maybe uncontrollable scenarios. So what we can do here? So let's say at every stage of the or every node of the supply chain, whoever are the stakeholders, if they know about the quality, so they can take the right decisions. So farmer, so he know the quality, okay, what is the remaining shelf life, for which application I should sell this food produce so that I can get or maximize the profit. Or maybe the cold storage, there also that the cold storage operator, he can decide what environmental conditions I should put so that I can get the better application with the better pricing, and something is going wrong, then what all need to be done. So in nutshell, so if I know the quality of the foods in real time, then all this will become bit easy. So that's why we started with developing this, what we call as a food digital twins. So first of all, as even the panelists were also discussing, first thing we need is a right quality of data to develop these food digital twins or models. So we started with the food chemistry data, the compositional data, like all these food produce are stored in a different environmental conditions, temperature, humidity, and the change in composition like fats, sugar, all these composition, that is measured with the time. The sensory data, even we started collecting this image. And the food produce, like specifically fruits, vegetables, like living entity, they respire and like produce gases. So we measured these gases also, the CO2 release, ethylene release, and the other techniques like with NIR spectra, and sometimes even the skin resistance sensors, sometimes the speckle techniques to measure the Speckle, since it can penetrate up to few microns, and we can get some idea about the biological activity in that food produce. So that kind of data is collected. The second thing, so many times the data, even by collecting all these, sometimes may not be sufficient. In those cases, we use these first principle models. Uh, let's say the enzyme kinetics, this conversion of one constituents to another. So those type of reactions, reaction kinetics data, so that is considered to develop this physics. And combining this physics-based and this AIML algorithms or data-based algorithms, these hybrid models are developed. Now these hybrid models can predict this quality, and based on that quality, you can predict the remaining shelf life or other applications. So that's it. So, but in reality, in real time, so when something is a field, we don't have access to all these kind of sensing. So there, even if we have few sensing, let's say temperature or humidity change, and the, let's say, initial sugar content, or maybe the image of that food produce. With just these couple of parameters or 2-3 parameters, we can predict all other remaining parameters, including the compositional parameter, with the fair accuracy which is usable for the stakeholder to take the decisions. So what we call these hybrid models as a soft sensors, so which can be used in a real time. So this is the chamber. So this is the setup, like all this gas released by this food produce, this NIR patterns, this GSR sensors, all this kind of setup is made to get the food patterns, or what we call this as a signature of a typical food. So like naturally ripened banana versus like organically ripened. So those signatures will be different, patterns will be different. And again, in the different environmental conditions, how that is changing, that we have to keep in record. And these are the, like, we kept at different environmental conditions. And as I was saying, in the field, we don't have luxury to have all these kind of sensors, and which may not be affordable. So we need some cost-effective sensors in the field with some environmental parameters, let's say temperature, humidity, some imaging, and at least a few gas this detection sensors. So again, in the supply chain, so with these models, what we need that at every node, we need, like we can say, this agents which can help the stakeholder in taking those kind of decisions. Let's say at the farm, what is the right time of harvesting, whether this ripening has happened, what is the like remaining days, so that this planning can be better. Same way in the storage, and even this, when it comes to the industry, this processing, and even the this packaging. So that also plays an important role, and there also how the quality change, and how we can like tweak the, let's say if one or other things goes beyond the control. Let's say during the frying of potatoes, our oil content or oil composition varied a bit, and with that oil also, we want to make the the chips of the same quality or the desired quality, then what all other parameters we need to change. So that kind of information we can get. And again, in the recipe recommendation system, as we were discussing, it is a very complex topic. So that also we try to develop some recipe recommendation systems. And again, the waste management, even the quality matters there. Suppose these peels are there, we want to extract the high value products, the moisture content and other constituents in that waste. That knowledge is important, so that we can decide which value addition application we should go for, or should we go for other kind of things like composting or so on. And then, as we were saying, this tracing and keeping the originality of the food, or the from where it started, like so that how to maintain. So what the term digital passport of the food produce is like being like utilized. And what if we have everything in our mobile as application? So I will just give an example. So as I was saying, at the farm, So let's say this farmer, all these kind of this question, this what is the right time of harvesting. So we developed for these potatoes all these kind of models. So like if you see this chips producing industry, even they have set up the labs in the farms. So basically they took some samples, they fry it, and then test whether the chips are of right quality. Let's say those are not brown because this acrylamide is carcinogenic and all. So instead of that, if we have just image of those potatoes, and can we predict the reducing sugar content in those potatoes, and take the decisions on whether those potatoes are suitable for chips production. And at the same time, we can, since we get all other compositional information in terms of starch and other constituents, then we can, for the same potato, what is the remaining shelf life for domestic consumption, where maybe the this aesthetics and weight loss is the major parameters. For chips production, that reducing sugar content is my key parameter. Starch, that the total weight, this weight percentage and starch. So based on the key parameters, we can take those decisions for those applications. Similarly, in the cold storage, so when so here these complications arise when the food produce, instead of the single produce, food produces in a bulk, then there is a crate, then type of crate, the number of holes, that size of that holes, and then stacking, and how that is placed in a complete environment. So that, and how the cold air is circulating. So that all how we can understand using this computational flow dynamics and the typical this food technology or rate kinetics in terms of respiration, transpiration, and the enzyme kinetics. So combining those, we developed this digital twin of warehouse or cold storage, so that so like I was saying, so we can identify which section of the cold storage where the CO2, you can say hotspots, CO2 spots or ethylene spots are higher. Like in the data centers, we worry about these temperature hotspots. So similar in the food, we can go for these CO2, ethylene, and other kind of spots, and take those decisions on the inventory management in the cold storage. So when it comes to the chips production, I was mentioning this on the last slide. So we can get the operating regime of that operation. Let's say if we are frying, then thickness of the chips, your the temperature, the time, and for some reason, if there is not control on one parameter, how to tweak other parameters to get the desired quality. And many times here, these clients sometimes approached us. So sometimes there is a demand to increase the shelf life by 10%. How we can do that without changing the equipments or other by managing those facility, how we can do that. So those things also we can do. And when it comes to the packaged, so the oil content in the chips, how it is degrading, and typically in the headspace, this hexagonal formation forms, and that basically defines the shelf life. So those kind of these models, understanding this degradation of oil, or here in case of frying, the diffusion of oil in this chips. So those kind of this understanding will help us to develop the good quality, you can say, models, so that we can take these decisions accurately. Even now, by doing this, someone will ask that how much you can save here in the typically on this processing part. But even this 0.5% saving on that processed food will be a big number. So the target was 2%, but we could achieve at least 0.5%, 0.5 to 0.8%. So similarly, so in every produce we have to understand that. So here, let's say the CO2 and ethylene, like that ideal ripening stages, you will get the peak of CO2 and ethylene, and that if you correlate with this ripening, and with that you can predict the remaining shelf life. So with image and this CO2 release, ethylene release pattern, you can predict the remaining shelf life. Now here also it may look very simple, like banana. Okay, I can, even by seeing this banana, I can understand that difference may be plus or 1, 2. But when we are in the field, let's say for Sahyadri farms, so they get like 1,000, 1,500 tons of tomatoes, bananas daily. So some experts need to go there, and then they have to check even the bananas from Jalgaon, bananas from Solapur, the quality, even though once the expert is there, the problems are not there because they know that banana from Solapur, that thickness is bit high, and so they have way. But the problem is scale up, how we can reduce the time. So similarly with strawberry, we can, same philosophy, develop these hybrid models and use to predict the quality. So with image and few parameters, like here, even if you know the cultivar of that strawberry and initial constituent, then you can predict how it is changing with time. I will quickly this thing. So this I was explaining for this cold storage, even the portable cold storage. Let's say the truck from the Mahabaleshwar starts with the strawberry, and if we can predict, let's say, till it reaches to the Pune, how the like the number of crates in that storage, let's say at the start, all will be of premium quality. By the time it reaches to the Pune, maybe 5% will go to the average quality. And let's say in the Pune, if we remove 10% of those, because of that, equilibrium get disturbed. And because of that, like when it reaches to the Mumbai, how the grading or variation in the quality of the crates, so even the companies like Big Basket, Denso, so they have like lot of interest in these kind of solutions. Yeah, so I was saying this mobile application, all this we can see on a mobile. So as the initial talk, Chakravarti sir was asking about, so we need all this knowledge in a supply chain. There are a lot of factors, how we can take into account. So once we develop the digital twin, and if we simulate that under scenario, and we check for our performance indicators, and if we get that some indications that, okay, it is working well, so we have this rewards, and then we can incorporate in that digital. So we can keep modifying the digital twins, or that you can say self-learning to keep this happening. Maybe I will not go in all these details. Yeah. So another thing, let's say when you want to develop this digital twins, so is it necessary that for every food produce you have to develop? So no. So even you can transfer from this knowledge from one food produce to another, and then using that more data, or with continuous data, you can keep on increasing your efficiency. Even you can, with some success, we are able to transfer the knowledge within the classes and from one class to another class. So this recipe generation is one of the important thing which is coming in. How to generate the recipe? Let's say for diabetic person, we want to develop a recipe, and let's say using the choice of my food items, how shall I? And let's say the ingredient. The conventional LLMs or the models, it will hallucinate, or sometimes the scientific nuances will be there. For example, if you ask that, okay, give me the recipe using the fish and milk, so it will generate some content. It will not validate it scientifically. So there is a need to develop such engines using those scientific knowledge. So here we train for at least this diabetic food recipes, using few million recipes. Even we just try to develop what ingredient should be there, and the compatibility of ingredient based on the flavor space of those ingredients. Yeah, with that I can stop, and thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Priya Sundararajan. I request Dr. Priya Sundararajan to please come on a stage. Dr. Priya Sundararajan is a professor in the Department of Life Science and Biochemistry at St. Xavier College, Mumbai. With over 24 years of experience in genetics, molecular biology, and biotechnology, she holds a PhD in genetics from the University of Madras and has published extensively, including 25 research papers and chapters in 11 books. Dr. Sundararajan has guided numerous MSc and PhD students Beyond her academic pursuits, she serves as a director of Cashes Research Laboratory since 2011 and as the member secretary of the Institutional Biosafety Committee appointed by the DBT, Government of India, since 2013. She is also engaged as the Nodal Officer for Nodal Center Virtual Labs at IIT Bombay. So with her brief introduction, now I humbly request Dr. Priya Sundarajan to deliver a talk on AI, robotics and automated analytical techniques in cell and molecular biology. We welcome you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the kind introduction. And we have been having sessions highlighting of importance of AI in the food industries. We had the keynote speaker and the panel discussion, who wonderfully, and the previous speaker also, who wonderfully mentioned about the importance and applications of AI in the food industry. So since Dr. Vibha asked me to talk something other than the food, so my forte is cell molecular biology and biotechnology. So I thought maybe intervention of AI in these fields can be highlighted in this forum. So let's move on. So we are looking at transforming research through AI-based innovation in the field of, I'll talk about cell molecular biology, but it will also include fields like biotechnology and overall in the field of biology. And let's see some insights of importance of AI in this field. So a little bit about timelines, everybody know, but then just to quick recap. So we started somewhere in 1997, we had the Deep Blue. Everybody would have remembered about how Deep Blue won over Gary Kasparov, who was the world champion at that time. So, and later on we have machine learning tools and self-driven tools which have been developing, and now we are moving on to the AI world. So this is a timeline of the construction. So when we are looking at DL as well, that is the deep learning as well as machine learning, they are one of the crucial elements of AI, which train themselves by picking up knowledge from data from various sources. So they are either generated directly or indirectly from the natural intelligence systems, because the natural intelligence is far superior than the machine developed intelligences. So overall, we are generating advanced, intelligent and self-aware artificial systems which are developed based on the human systems. Why is automation and why do we need it in biology labs? We had talked about food labs, we are looking at biology labs. Overall, when we are looking at automation, it refers to machines that reduce human intervention. So that's the key aspect, where human intervention is reduced, and we are having physical automation as well as information automation, which is a key role here. So when you're looking at in the field of biology, there are a lot of benefits of automation. To sum it up, especially we are looking at increased in output productivity, and when we're looking at decrease, especially the labor and cost effectiveness, and a large amount of data which are being processed at the same time. So what is the need for automation in cell and molecular biology when compared to the challenges with traditional methods? When we're looking at especially cell culture, like my students are always involved in cell-based, cell line-based analysis. So it's a hugely time-consuming, a lot of human errors that are involved, contamination being there, and reproducibility is one of the very important aspects associated with it, so that we get consistent results. And also scaling up becomes very labor intensive, because many industries, especially pharma-based industries, cosmetic industries, depend upon the cell line, as well as what we call as the preclinical trials, where the cell line-based studies are very important in these developments. The solution to this will definitely be the automation which addresses these challenges, especially making the process extremely standardized and reducing the variability, because especially when you're looking at some product which is coming to the market, the variability aspect will have to be reduced, and every batch should be kind of the same, what is mentioned. And even in the food industry, similarly in this industry, in the products which are coming out from such industry like the biotechnology industries also, the variability will have to be reduced to a very great extent, and focusing on efficiency, accuracy and reproducibility in research as well as the products which come to the market. So these are pivotal in accelerating drug discovery as well as personalized medicine, because currently the healthcare is moving towards personalized medicine. So the influence of automation and AI in the field of biology will be, it's maturing simultaneously and it's creating a lot of unprecedented opportunities in this particular field of research, and especially standardization and cost reduction are the key widespread adoption to biology as well as automation. Bringing in some ideas, what is called as currently we are looking at what is called as a new labs and future labs. So that's a new concept in this area, especially when related to laboratories. So here AI is revolutionizing, especially analytical testing with AI and automation. You have a lot of next generation tools, some of them which were mentioned, and I'll show you a few examples which are describing the advancements in these laboratories, especially when we are doing testing and we do want to reduce the variability. So these tools are transforming how laboratories operate. Like we had one of the panel members who were talking about the analytical tongue as well as the nose, which is going to give responses. So this involves use of AI for a large amount of data in the field of biology also, like for example, bioinformatics. We are looking at protein sequences, gene sequences, different genes from humans. There are a large amount of data which is there. In fact, after the Human Genome Project, it's only 1% of the human genome is being analyzed. More than 99% of what is there in this ATGC is not known. So we will definitely need tools with like AI and automation which will help in understanding and to get a new realm as to what the meaning of these sequences are, so that it will help in the healthcare industries. So that this trend will hence be involved in personalized medicine, automated system for analyzing patient data and also for tailoring new methods of treatment. So the transition now is from laboratories which are like manual laboratories to where we have the output which are automated output, digitized output, and reducing the variability and a large amount of data which are being stored, as well as new methods of analysis of these data. So that's what is the laboratories, especially the biology-based laboratories, are leading to, and almost all the laboratories. So are these laboratories available in India? Yes. I was looking up on different websites. So I found this, that we have the Union Minister of State who had launched the Center for Semiconductor Chips and Systems for Strategic Electronics, which is the Future Labs. Okay, so here we have the minister who is bringing out the release of Digital India and Future Labs. So this is the future of every laboratory. It's not only biology and biotechnology-based laboratory, almost every laboratory will be future labs and digital labs. The impact of artificial intelligence in the various biology disciplines, of course I talked about medicine, personalized medicine and healthcare. We are also having a lot of industry because the industrial biotechnology, huge amount of products are based on the biotechnology, what we call as white biotechnology. We have enzymes and we have small molecules, we have some proteins, we have insulin and similar products which are the output of industrial biotechnology. Similarly, in the field of animal biotechnology as well as agriculture, the impact of AI is far spreading fast. In the case of cell and molecular biology, as we had said, overall, to sum it up, what would be the applications? So we are looking at monitoring the cell growth, looking at the morphology with the help of AI-powered imaging. So this will help when we are doing testing of drugs and other chemicals. predicting the optimal culture conditions through machine learning. So instead of manually doing it, this is going to definitely give, we have the previous speaker also who talked about, give a similar example in the potato industry as well as the strawberry industries. Then automation decision making, like when to feed, when to passage, when to change, how much is the concentration to be added, and so on. So that will definitely help in reducing the manual labor that is involved and to get a better output and better data from these. So the benefits will definitely be enhanced reproducibility and efficiency, which we are looking at, and reduction in manual labor as well as associated errors, so that we get the best output from these experiments that are being planned. With respect to robotics in laboratory automation, AI is being integrated into laboratory automation also, to enable efficient data analysis, to predict various outcomes, and to optimize workflows. So the role of robotics will be automated pipetting. So we have what are called as auto pipettes to reduce manual errors. The same volume without any error is being to be introduced. Handling of various liquids, high throughput screening and processing of various types of samples, which is involved in all biotechnology industries, and integration with AI for real-time adjustments. So these will definitely be the role of robotics in this particular field, and the impact will definitely be increased throughput as well as scalability of the assessments, and consistent and precise experimental procedure. So ultimately we want uniformity as well as accurate output. So the robotics are going to help in this particular area. We also have the idea of what is called as IoT-enabled labs, which is Internet of Things, which connect lab devices and systems for seamless communication, data sharing, and allowing for real-time monitoring of equipment performance as well as sample conditions. So when a sample has come, like it was mentioned before, even before touching it and even before further analyzing, you get an idea about what is involved, what is the various components which are there in these samples before analysis. So this is definitely going to be used to analyze patient data. We have a large amount of diseases where we are looking out, the pharma industry is looking out for drugs as well as treatment strategies to identify genetic markers and to also tailor treatment for patients, which we otherwise call it as personalized medicine. So AI is used to find these hidden correlations in various experimental data, and they are linking the subtle phenotypic changes which are observed and genetic markers. This will be coming in the importance with respect to diseases like cancer, diabetes, obesity, schizophrenia, asthma, many other diseases where we want to see genetic markers with phenotypes and what is the kind of interventions in terms of pharmaceutical as well as therapy interventions that can help with these patients. The IoT cloud laboratory, where experiments are automated through cloud connected devices, and they allow, that means here we do not much have manual interventions. It's mainly IoT based cloud laboratory which allows scalability, reproducibility, as well as monitoring them online, the data online continuously. Coming to modular and miniaturized automation, so various labs are now adopting to modular flexible designs and smaller benchtop or microfluidic base. So we do not, before when we see the computer itself was almost as big as this room, but now if we see it's in your palm. Similarly happens with various which machines which are working, where which are including very specific workflows and personalized medicine. So AI is hence revolutionizing test automation by very intelligently generating and managing various test cases, detecting what we call as the bugs, automative, repetitive tasks, and generating a lot of test data which will help in manufacturing various products. And hence it's used in drug discovery to identify potential drug candidates, to predict their efficacy as well as optimize the drug development process, which is also an important aspect of biotechnology industries. So when you're looking at the information, I was telling you about the Human Genome Project, there's a whole huge amount of data which is available, which has not been analyzed. So in the 80s and the 90s, they were concentrating on to get this data, that means how to get this ATGC sequence which is there in the humans. But now we are looking at how to, this is the big data which is there, but now we are looking at how to use strong AI, that is AI-powered means of analyzing the data. Because having the data is not important, to analyze and to predict and to be useful to the humans and society is what is more important. And hence, in this field of what we call as systems biology, it's really, AI is really helping in converging the various technologies and to get some meaningful information. So currently we have what is called as genome-wide association study, which is done worldwide in many of the laboratories and societies of the world, that means individuals of the world. So the analysis of the data also helped in development of like COVID-19 vaccine, to analyze the COVID variances which are seen in the COVID viruses world over, to give a recent example. Giving you some insight about some recent developments with AI based in this particular, in laboratories and laboratory instruments. We have this Cell Express AI, which is being manufactured currently by Molecular Devices. This is a completely AI-driven automated cell culture system. So no longer we have to manually change the media and so on. And the features of it is 24/7 operation and machine learning enabled softwares, automated protocols for 2D and 3D cell models. And the benefits of it will be reduce labor cost and increase reproducibility. Because a lot of cell line based work is being used for screening of drugs, cosmetics, chemicals, and so on. So this streamlined process will definitely lead to faster decision making with respect to can we go ahead with this drug component or not. The next example that I would like to give you with respect to microscope, there are some microscopes which are there, which has been put up here also, which is the fluorescence microscope. This is from Leica. In my laboratory, we have a little lesser version of this, but this is a AI-powered digital fluorescence microscope. So the features of it will be multimodal capabilities with AI-powered confluency checks and counting, as well as efficient measurements. And the benefits will definitely be accelerated experiments with reliable results. And this also supports the FDA compliance for secure data tracking, because there's a lot of data which is being there. Similarly, in the case of biology research, what is called as a Genesis project, this is to do with systems biology, like I was talking about a large amount of data which is there after human genome projects and such similar projects. So here it is designed to automate systems biology research, and the capabilities of these will initiates and executes up to 1,000 hypothesis-led experiments per day, because with such huge amount of data, how are you going to plan the workflow of experiments? So this hence integrates AI for model improvement and data analysis, and the significance of this will be to demonstrate, the potential of AI in accelerating scientific discoveries for new and personalized healthcare. Liftoscope is another AI and laser-based cell selection model which has been released. This has been by Fraunhofer Institutes, and this combines AI with laser-induced methods of cell selection. The features of which are, of course, you have living cells over 90% survival rates, and it has AI integration with precise cell identification. So this is the impact of this will be accelerated personalized medicine and drug development. So similarly, we also have AI integrated bioreactors, because bioreactors are the ones where a lot of pharmaceutical as well as other small products are, molecules are being generated. So here it will have an impact on diseases like cancer, cartilage repair, skin grafts, and so on. If you're looking at the annual patents which have been increased, so if you see there's a skyrocketing from 2020 onwards in almost every field, similarly in the field of biology also, where a lot of devices as well as concepts which are using AI-based and robotics-based interventions in these fields. So overall, to sum it up, the benefits of these advancements will be increased throughput, enhanced accuracy, definitely improves cost efficiency, though it takes a lot of cost to set up the AI, but in the long run, when you have a large amount of data being analyzed and you are going to get an accurate result, it's going to be faster and more effective research that is going to be conducted, and that's going to help in personalized medicines for effective treatments of individual patients. So looking at the market trends, if you're looking at the growth and predictions, the automated cell culture market is expected to reach beyond 45 billion by 2027 and much more after that. So it's going to increase, and the driving factors will be increased demand for personalized medicines, advancements in the field of AI and robotic technologies, and the need for scalable and reproducible research methods. So of course, every field, everything goes without challenges. It is not possible. You'll always have challenges when you're looking for new options. So there will be high initial costs, like I said, when you want to set up. And there's also need for training and expertise. That means specialized expertise is required. That's why when you're looking at industry, there was a question is, what is the connect between the academia and industry? So definitely we need more specialized training and expertise for applications, but that will come with when we are training the students in the academia for such purposes. So despite these challenges, the potential benefits of AI-driven automation in lab research and compelling many institutions to invest in these technologies. So if you have many institutions who are moving on to such technologies and options. So to conclude, the integration of AI and robotics is definitely revolutionizing, like any other field, the field of cell and molecular biology and biotechnology also. So they are transforming this industry, and the future direction will be continued integration of AI and robotics in laboratory workflows and development of more sophisticated automated systems for complex biological processes. These are some of my references, and thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this informative session. Please have a huge round of applause for Dr. Priya. Now I'm delighted to introduce to our next speaker someone who has an extensive background in the food industry and a keen understanding of how trends shape the future of the food technology. So our speaker is Mr. Bhushan Yengde, founder, food industry consultant, Binder Technology Consultancy. I request Mr. Bhushan to come on a dais. Mr. Bhushan Yengde is a globally renowned food technologist and a founder of Binder Technology Consultancy, a firm specializing in project management, technical consultation, training, and market research across the food processing, petrochemicals, and gas sectors. His consultancy provides strategies, insight, and regulatory compliance support to business. He trained as a food technologist at Marathwada Agriculture University, India, and the University of Reading, United Kingdom. Bhushan has built a distinguished career across both the private and public sectors. In the private sector, he has led the development of innovative and profitable food products while optimizing supply chain to meet global quality and food standards. Then he is actively engaged in food safety and entrepreneurship training. He is an FSSI certified trainer. He has conducted programs for organizations such as World Bank, World Trade Center, Gulf Food, and MSME. So with expertise in European food laws, risk assessment, agriculture supply chain research, and sensory evaluation, Bhushan continues to shape industry practices and policy framework. So he will be delivering a talk on boosting lab relevance through food industry market trends. We welcome you, Bhushan.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It is really wonderful to be here at this center of the conference and speaking on various subjects. This particular session is all about future labs, but I was advised by President Dr. Shalini Arya to speak on where laboratories should invest, because that's also very important, how the food industry is shaping, what are the trends, and how the market is galvanizing, in particular, the food industry. I'm the founder of Binder Technology Consultancy, a consultancy focused into the project management, R&D, market research, and trainings. So as a part of our market research, we have been continuously working on several countries. I have worked in 10 countries. And as a part of Asia Pacific research, I'll be delivering this particular session on boosting lab relevance through food industry market trends. So I'll just begin with very interesting, slide. This is a market relevance, tedious kind of. Market always take tedious turns, don't you think? What is the situation of a market, guys? We're in the financial situation of financial capital of India. Do you know? Okay, I'll get back to that. That's interesting, but I'll start with a little story. Do you know who this guy is? Can anyone recognize? Anyone, please? This is the guy. This is Chakravarti Ashoka. And there's a lot of relevance, because whenever the market take twists and turns, then laboratories across globe wakes up. So, whenever we find the ancient scripts and research, we have the written records of the lot of work that has taken place in this, during his era on grapes. We have no idea in which format it took place. We don't have written records of it, but the grape was one of the element. The cereal preparations was particularly made up of laddus. We have an idea, and honey was the only kind of sweetener that was used and that was sold, and a lot of research took place during that era. And as Dr. Chakravarti said, we have common thing in common, because we both have worked in Rourkela. Even I'm working in gas sector in Rourkela. So yes, the Kalinga is in Orissa now, and Rourkela is in Orissa. So everything, this particular war changed the scenario of India and of course of the world. And this is one of my favorite graph. And if you just look at the entire graphical representation, if you just look at the whole 1 AD, this particular, if you just look at the entire red and yellow, you'll understand how the China and India collaboratively collaborated, and this particular collaboration of GDP marked more than 50%. So I think we should work together with China. This is what I follow. Well, this is very interesting graphical representation again. Whenever you find spikes in the market, you'll find laboratories are on radar to start. For example, if you just look at compare the both graphical representation, you'll understand that, maybe how the global GDP has been galvanizing, and how the global market has been, GDP has been shaping and reshaping the world. You find the constraints, and if you understand the global GDP growth, again, the spikes that you find majorly, if you just consider the major spikes that we observed during the First World War, Second World War, and recently in 2021, that's what we, of course, understand that was during the COVID era, right? So what were the strategies of by these particular laboratories applied? And if you understand during World War I innovation, then the tea bag was the innovation and we continue till today. Do you understand? I mean, still today we have dip chai everywhere, right from the air flights to the train or the all tapris. They have dip chai, right? We call in India dip chai, right? So that's a very interesting innovation and that we continue to have and embark our lives. And the other innovation is vegetarian sausages. These were particularly developed for the defense forces, and we continue to have. And the next innovation was the stainless steel. And if you just see, according to the rules and regulations of food industry, a stainless steel material is quite preferred. Of course, there are many metal conditions by FSSI. We have FSSI Deputy Director as well, Imran Hashmi here. So, but yes, stainless steel is one of the main preferred material for every single thing. And we continue till today with this particular innovation. And now let's have the World War II innovation. We have seen many innovations during the World War II. Freeze-dried coffee, what you call Nescafe, or so many allied coffee brands that we see. That was an innovation. And can anyone guess about the candies, the sugar-coated candies that we have? Anyone guess? That chocolate, sugar-coated candies, centrofield chocolate, that's very popular brand. Maybe Mondelez could answer. No. That's the innovation of M&M. M&M, M&M was one of the brightest innovation for the defense forces, and we continue to, continue to use that innovation in our lives today. And that was one of the wake-up call for the laboratories, and many confectionery companies continue to embark upon this innovation. Again, the canning technology is one of the important technology. Every fruits, vegetables, whatever meat, and whatever you see, canning is something it's one of the blamed industry as well. But yes, there are many I just would like to highlight very good inputs. During the World War II strategy, laboratories actually worked on to improve upon the shelf life of fruits and vegetables. And this particular image says everything: can, all, you can. It was one of the wonderful innovation, because a lot of fruits and vegetables were majorly preserved through canning technology. And again, but my reference from the US government says it's a real war job, and maybe it was during that time because they had to supply fruits, vegetables during that time, and that time a lot of lab work took place on canning technology. And the deration was one of the important technology. It was a dense chocolate with lot of proteins. Protein is something like a new wave of this generation, but that time protein, fat, and of course a lot of sugar was one of the innovative fraction that grew during that time. So yeah, I started with the market, and there are many things that I could discuss about the market. We all know, being in Mumbai, we understand what exactly the situation is, but I really can't comment how the market is shaping, because the stock market just few kilometers away, that is shaping the Indian economy, and we know what a situation is. This is one of my article that I wrote for FNB just few months ago on 1st March, and yeah, it is published on 1st March. It's very important. I have, and my team has worked on how the food industry stocks are doing. We are analyzing the markets as well, how the climate is impacting, because we have seen the climate change a lot. And do you realize that what was the temperature today? Did anyone? Can anyone guess what is the temperature today? Okay, 32. That's 34. 48 degree. 38. Okay, so in my conclusion, in our conclusion, we say that the climatic conditions plays a huge role in food industry stocks because we have seen a lot of uh, difference in crop cycle chains and the production. So the stock market is something that it doesn't work much when we just compare the what you call the international stock markets with Indian stock market, what we understand. But the climatic changes really work very hard when you compare the food stock. The interesting part of our session is the interesting part of this particular session is all about the food industry insights, and I'll speak on the how the Asia Pacific countries are working on and how where exactly the food laboratories should invest and in which sector they should be investing. So this is something work that we have been doing since 2020, since pandemic time. So this particular trend is about the what the dairy sector. And if you just analyze what exactly is happening in dairy sector, we asked few questions to our consumers from the what exactly and what they prefer in the dairy sector, what exactly the dairy sector means to them. And for in many countries, the fresh milk is was one of the preferred the product from the dairy sector. That wasn't anticipated by us. And if you just look at the Indian scenario, every single family in the rural area or what you call the taluka places, they still prefer the bhaiya zood. That is something is being considered in many other parts of the Asia Pacific countries as well. They still prefer the fresh milk. So laboratories are working on maintaining the temperature of this. The yogurt sector is one of the growing sector. Then butter is one of the growing sector. With this, annatto is one of the main ingredient that is being mixed. So these are sectors, and cheese and ice cream. And ice cream sector is very interesting sector. We have researched many other things as well in ice cream sectors and these other sectors as well. We found that the chocolate is one of the most preferred flavor in the ice cream sector, followed by strawberry and vanilla. Yes, there are so many flavors, but these particular flavors are being still preferred by the ice cream sectors. And just hot beverage sector, we got interesting results because other parts of the Far East, they still prefer a green tea as their main drink. So half of the world still continues to have their what you call the consumption of green tea as a main tea. And then again, the tea is something that what you call milk wala chai here. And that's something very interesting. We continue to have around 32% of people still prefer the milk wala chai and the coffee and what you call the other milk alternatives. But I just would like to comment here, wherever Britishers rule, there the tea is commonly preferred, and wherever French rule, the coffee is preferred. Again, there are so many things that we work in fruit processing sector as well. But yes, here also, we also found the same thing. The fresh fruit is being considered as a main figurative. And 30% of people still prefer fresh fruits. And but like it was very difficult for us to compare between two sectors, the blue and yellow. Again, 24 people still prefer what you call the fruit pieces, and there are purees and milk preparations and sugar preservatives. Again, in the beverage sector, this was again the same beverage sector. I thought, before we are scientists, like when we start working, we begin our actions with kind of atheist mind, and I'm an atheist, by the way. And we have a different kind of mindset while working on this sectorial. We thought there would be different kind of alcohols, but still people prefer tea as their main beverage, followed by drinks and traditional drinks, whatever they have. In meat sector, fish is one of the main ingredient or the product, followed by beef, chicken, and pork, other sectors. This is very interesting. And again, the bakery sector was kind of interesting, but the bread always rises on the top. 36% when they think about bakery, they think about bread. And 25 people still prefer the biscuit and the cakes, pastries, and other things. So it's very important here to analyze what exactly the lab, what you call, where the laboratories should invest. So according to analysis, the snack sector, the natural juices, the breakfast cereals, the confectionery, organic, ready meals, bakery, dairy ingredients, these are the main key sectors to invest in the laboratory inventions. So yes, I would like to conclude my session now. If you are investing in the food industry, uh, right from making the project report to the entire project management, research and development, to the training, we bind the entire supply chain, and that's why we call ourselves as a binder technology consultancy. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhushan. Moving forward, now it's my privilege to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Jyoti Vora. I request Dr. Jyoti Vora to come on a stage. Dr. Jyoti Vora is the founder and CEO of Dhirang Consultant, a distinguished consultancy firm with a legacy of 28 years and official registration with the British Council. With a strong presence in Mumbai and Nasik, Dhirang Consultant is a trusted name in skill development, startup hand-holding, workforce training, which covers both technical and soft skills, as well as educational counseling, TQM in food processing, research mentoring, and content development. Under Dr. Jyoti's visionary leadership, the firm has served prestigious clients including the House of Tata, Synthite, Equinox, Ross Biosciences, TSS, Troyes, and many more are there. Dhirang Consultant also plays a key role in executing CSR initiatives for various enterprises. So with her brief introduction, I request Dr. Jyoti Vora to deliver a talk on automation technology in organoleptic analysis of foods. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. May I would you tell me this is the way you go ahead, right? I hope I'm audible and it's not AI. Very, very good afternoon and namaste to all of you. It's usually customary to thank the organizers for inviting you. But my best half, Dr. Deepak Vora, and I are a bit selfish. We come to conferences like this because we love our subject and also because we get to meet our most beloved friends. Dr. Amritkar, whom we share a very long connection from Ruya. And and friends and family who help you all the time. Okay. And of course, Dr. Priya, Dr. Pandey, who is a young colleague with the institute, which I love because my professor Sani, my teacher, established the NFB. And Fatima ji, Leena ji, whom I have met. Sir, with whose blessings, and my most beloved erudite, Dr. Bhushan. So my title is Automated Systems in Sensory Evaluation and Organoleptic Testing of Food. I'd like to warn you, it's a generic term. And the word organoleptic for a lover of English is a paradox, because the etymology says organo means, as a biochemist, organs. And leptic arises from leptin, which is the human hormone, peptide hormone, ma'am will agree, for satiety, appetite, and of course, the most important thing, hunger. And then what are you talking about? How can you automate that? And our most passionate senior researcher brought out a question which I'm going to answer in the due course of my presentation. That can only come through passionate years of research. And we've enjoyed sir's, inspiration for a long time. So thank you, sir. I'll continue. This is a human effort. Like Priya ma'am, I did not use any chatbot, chat GPT. These are just simple slides. And therefore I said this is a human effort. All slides are dil se, because when you roam about everywhere in marketing, showcasing, product development, novel product development, simulated product development, घर वापसी तो sensory evaluation में ही होती है. So this is the cherry on the ice cream. I'm going to send you back very confused, because you're going to say, do we go this way? Do we go that way? And all Lakshman Rekhas are yours, don't worry. So I'm going to put both the sides to it. My tryst with sensory evaluation began 31 years ago at Amsterdam, where I did an advanced course and I gave an exam. After that, I followed it up with Wait Campus Adelaide. And in 2017, both Deepak ji and I have done an advanced diploma in a 17th century chateau in Paris. So throughout, it's been a soul search. How human is sensory evaluation, and how much at the same time we want automation. I just love the way my beloved co-academician, Dr. Pandey, put it, that chahiye to sahi, but limit mein chahiye. So that is the point which I am going to bring about. So what is sensory evaluation? It's the connection of food, because we are talking of food, and everything else related to food through your senses. The 5 tangible ones, you know them all, gustatory and tactile and so on. And then the 6th one, which is intuition. In robotics, commonly a term is used, mindless. Then there itself is a paradox. If there's no mind, then what is the use of a robo? Because you may play, we all are parents, we all have families, and we have people who are about 3 feet, less than that also, who dictate our lives through choice and, tantrums and whatever. I'm not going to tell you that ghar ghar ki kahani. But when they come to you, and you tell them this is good for you, so on and so forth. Dr. Bhushan talked about graphs. And that graph can be tilted by that 3-foot organism, who's your child, who will say, nahi chahiye. And then what will you do? So these are points to be understood. I told you already what is organoleptic. Is it needed? Yes. You may prepare in unmanned labs the most wonderful food, which is simulatedly wonderful. And it will fall flat in the market. I want to keep these stories a little back because I want to tell you many things. But in case I have the time, I am going to describe a debacle of bread, which Dr. Bhushan talked of. People compare and find it synonymous that all bakery products are bread. Where is it needed and why? At the beginning of the flow sheet and at the end. When you're thinking of a product, you're doing SPD, simulated product development. When you've completed it, it's novel product development. When the consumer gives you a tight slap and says, leke jao, nahi chahiye. Madam Leena will agree that what is the use? Then we go back again and we again go back to SPD. How is it executed? Well, we have to find what is called the wonderful ideal middle, which is what we are. We are riding on a noisy graph with a lot of base shift. as we know in all our instruments, but it's neither the crest nor the trough. Is it empirical and quantitative? Absolutely. I do a lot of trainings on sensory evaluation. And it's very difficult to explain to them that, you know, it's an experiment like all other experiments. We have journals, we have protocols, we have SOPs, everything is there. Is it scientific? Yes. It is the crux of food and food science, and it is generic. For your interest, you would know that I once trained the Sasmira students on silk because I like clothes. I've done it with the, you know, the UICT would know that we have a center of leather research institute run by the CSR. I did one for leather. So sensory means only by the senses. Where you use it is your premise. This is what I was talking about, and you need trained experts. And the word expert then, it shifts from automated to human and vice versa. I loved the way the panel put forth, ably guided by Madam Amritkar, that it's the data which you feed in, the data which you get out, and it's just raw data. To find the real gems from it, you have to analyze it. So these are the senses which are involved: sight, smell, taste, touch, definitely the intuition as it goes on. Now, for interest, where do we use sensory evaluation? Obviously, sensory analysis. Beautifully laid out lunch. We were satiated even before we started eating, because everyone was courteous. There was a smile. There were no robots to serve us. And the dishes were laid out wonderfully. We met people who whetted our appetite intellectually. Thank you, sir. And we proceeded from there. Consumer feedback, which is what we rely on. And, of course, market survey, as Dr. Bhushan would say, and new product design. So now we come to the advent of technology. I told you, from 94 to now is a good 31 years. As I was coming, I realized, oh my God, 31 years is a long time. And that's when I realized that from humanized concept, at the will of moods and, you know, all kinds of such limitations, we are moving fast towards, I'll press a few buttons and things will work. So technology definitely is the commercialization of science. But in sensory evaluation, how much of commercialization you want, that is up to you. So we have sensory evaluation with technology in scale up, because you cannot handle large samples. If you buy, you know, very simply I'll give an explanation. If you buy a packet of glucose, Parle glucose at Xavier's College, and I bring it from Lokhandwala, which we eat, and I lay it out on a plate, and I'll say, which has Priya madam given and which I have given, no one will know. It's not similar, it's identical. And for that, the sensory attributes have to be identical. Just an example. Consistency, again and again, 1942 onwards, I'm not selling Parle G. What I'm trying to say is, this is where the technology comes in. Computation, global, it has to be global. Sir, I'm going to answer your question, don't worry. AI, I'm sorry, but pay attention to the word A, artificial, not real. Please remember that. So some soul searches. Okay, so am I selling non-automation? No, we need automation, but to moderation. Technology has to be our, I don't like slave, but a helpful colleague, not our master. And would we be obsolete? No, no, no. If we are humans and humans are Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens are thinking species, then we are not going to be obsolete. We designed the robots, not the other way around. And who is making whom? Depends on you. If you allow the robot to dominate you, my God, is the end of the world. Do we beat them or join them? It's a good idea to join them. Program them for what you need not be able to do because of time, money, and so on. And do the other things and be the kingpin. Let them work for you. Let them be in your team, but you are the captain. So let's assess the Libra. What are the different aspects? De novo means newer methods of technology and automation in sensory evaluation. Madam Priya just talked of, totally unmanned laboratories. Good enough. At NASA, for example, there are laboratories which work in the field of xenobiology. We are designing nutraceuticals for use in space. And there are a lot of different kinds of food safety concepts which are not there otherwise. Run of the mill, in the usual thing, you make it smarter and smarter and smarter. Even our phones are smarter, so that our grandparents at home would say, so much you have, you can take a picture, you can go on WhatsApp, can you make a call? Because they are used to the not so obsolete older version, and both. So what is the case in run of the mill? It's human. I am making a case for it. Close to the consumer. There will be this guy who will come up to you in your product assessment and say, "Aap khareedte apna product?" And if you say yes, he'll take it. What better? Imagine asking a robo, "Aap khaoge kya?" Then personalized. Today we talk of designer foods. It's all about personalized, nutrition, nuance-oriented. We are prototypic Indians. We love chaat. We always go almost behind the, tapri of chaat and say, "Ye thoda jada jana, ye why?" Because he's catering to us. And there, where is the AI? Think about it. And holistic. It all caters to the human organism. But case of the de novo, it's accurate, error-free. You can control the whole output. Then it's a treasure for you to utilize and benefit the way you want. Large scale, repetitive, as I said, mindless, again and again and again. No bonuses, no strikes, no holidays, nothing. Convenient? I wonder. That's why I put a question out there. And mindless. So could we synergize and take the best of both? This is a belief which I think is what we have to go away from this room. We all are stakeholders, from academicians to industry people to entrepreneurs to icons to younger people who would tomorrow be the future of our industry. And synergistic resonance is what we are looking for. So what are the levels of automation? In the existing system, what are the automation? It's not about instruments alone, see? Computational. Are you aware that now we have panels which are millions of names and, anthropometric details, and the computer chooses who are the best. And you can use that panel. It's a foolproof one. No biases. Training, like I would like to tell Madam again, train the trainer. Under NEP, there is a very big area that for our students to know automation, we ourselves have to learn that. And a lot of times we go back to school. We are what are LLL, lifelong learners. And when we go along with them, there's amity. We learn more, and we come back enriched. And then we are frontline, you see. Robotics, which Madam Priya spoke so much about, all kinds of instruments. I mean, outside there is a heaven of mechanics. You could spend more than 3 days, see. We just took a bird's eye view and said, "Aur bhi chahiye," like we say, "Dil mange more." So like that. And this is only a bird's eye view. And laboratories. That is a karma bhumi. And laboratories are not only laboratories. They are in silico, in vivo, they are in vitro, and there are a combination of all. Then computational. What else can be? Panel identification, questionnaire making. In sensory evaluation, we always say there are no good answers, there are only good questions. So the computer helps you to make the best questions, picking it up from unusual places, and you get this amazing questionnaire. Raw data mining. Then data collation. You've got a lot of data, you're drowning in it. It will throw you the lifeline, pull you out. And all analysis will be accurate. Data analysis and records. We as teachers, and at least there are 4 teachers here and 5 in fact, we have the biggest fight with our students for journals. They won't write the journals and we want the journals. So we try to teach our students record keeping from the beginning. It's a tedious, repetitive, run-of-the-mill drudgery. But the computer doesn't think so. You just put it, and like Leena madam mentioned, it can be sent across the globe. You can use it wherever you want. Training, manning the unmanned. What's the use of having the most wonderful gadgetry if you don't know how to use it? So always there is what is called metrology. It's a science which has come out of automation for all parts of our food industry. So when you get a texturometer, you're going to get how to know it. And someone's going to come and show you. There's no demeaning. He's not going to look down on you. And you can ask all the questions you want. Question making, I already told you, beautiful science to it. Robotics, where just now there was a very tongue-in-cheek thing that Bangalore has thrown out the proverbial kaam wali bais, and now they're employing robos. And then as a housewife, won't you miss the day-to-day fight with your kaam wali bai? Think about it. It's philosophy. Instruments of all kinds. And here I mean totally unmanned to semi to more manned. Laboratories where we can play our magic, and more on instruments now. How are they designed in the first place? We are very big copycats, human beings. Every instrument, few pictures I'm showing because of paucity of time. It's just imitating nature. We have never done anything original. Mother Nature, as the name suggests, she is giving everything and we're working it out. So look at human biochemistry, look at neurobiochemistry. Imitate or try to, and the rest is history. And use borderless science. Things which we didn't like very much, maths, physics, all are our friends now. And they better be, because otherwise we are not going to survive. Some home truths. Automated systems are increasingly getting into sensory evaluation. And there are electronic tongues, computer vision, machine learning, and so on for taste, smell, texture, to name a few. So we have all these, and baseline, of course, chemistry. E-nose, and I was so glad when Sir talked, and I think I do have the time to start that story. So this is a true thing with my consultancy. In Ireland, in Dublin, they were designing yeast extract flavorants for the Asian palate. They have a e-tongue. Leena ma'am knows how they are abroad. They came to a point which was a deadlock. They approached me and said, no use, we need Indian panelists. So they sent samples across. Our data was connected to the e-nose. Rest is history. That yeast flavorant is in the market. I'm not naming brands, but we need the best of both. This is the e-nose, little pictorial. I'm running out of time. Biological olfactory system imitated shamelessly by us to make it automated. E-tongue, wonderful, connected to the tongue itself, an organ which has 16 billion papillae, 1,362 different tastes to mix and match. This is our tongue. And e-vision, we always said it's like a camera. We learned that from school. And we continue to deliberate. So we have the e-tongue, computer vision, and robotics at the blink of the eye. What about HMI? Human-machine interaction, very reality-oriented thing in management. And of course, artificial neural networks, where we try to create brains with our limited brains, which come back to us. So that's how it is. And therefore, we have many advantages: increased objectivity, improved efficiency, cost reduction, and data-driven insights, which are all delight to the researcher and entrepreneur. And these are some more examples: quality control, NPD, process optimization. In a sense, they are here to stay. It's not an auger. We have to make friends with it, and not on Facebook, but in reality. And once we do that, I'd like you to take home this summation. Will humans be replaced? Then remember, it is AI, and we are Homo sapien, we are the thinking species, we drive the world. So the idea would be to take best of both and work for the perennial need of the world, which is food. So I'm privileged with your attention. I hope I have managed to tell you everything. Some stories are best left untold, so maybe the bread story next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, now moving forward, we have an insightful panel discussion titled Blueprint for Tomorrow, Inside India's Journey to Labs. This conversation promises to explore the evolving landscape of food labs in India, their role in innovation, safety policy, and the path forward in a rapidly advancing industry. The important session is chaired by Mr. Bhushan Yengde. I invite Mr. Bhushan Yengde to come on a stage and take his place. Mr. Bhushan is a globally respected food technologist and a founder of food consultancy, Binder Technology Consultancy, with decades of experience in food processing, regulatory strategy, and project management. So joining him on the panel, we have two esteemed speakers, experts. First, we have Mr. Imran Hashmi, Deputy Director at the National Food Laboratory, Mumbai, under FSSI. We welcome you, sir. So he has a rich academic background in food technology and top national ranks in multiple competitive exams. Mr. Hashmi brings a unique blend of experience across academia, industry, and government administration. He has served as a researcher, educator, and regulatory officer, and is widely recognized for his contributions to food safety, training, and policy implementation. He has published extensively, developed educational content, and even launched an Android app for food technology aspirants. He joined Food and Drug Administration Maharashtra in June 2018. Since then, he is serving as Assistant Commissioner cum Designated Officer in FDA Maharashtra. Currently, he plays a key role in India's food safety framework through his leadership at the National Food Laboratory, helping shape the future of food testing and standards in the country. Second panel member is Dr. Simardeep Kaur. I request her to join the panel. Dr. Simardeep Kaur is ARS scientist at the ICAR Research Complex for the Northeastern Hill Region, Meghalaya. She is a Fulbright Fellow and accomplished researcher. She brings a wealth of expertise in crop quality, food biochemistry, and sustainable nutrition. She holds her PhD from IARI, New Delhi, and was awarded the prestigious Nehru Fulbright Doctoral Fellowship for her research stint at Utah State University, USA. Her work focuses on AI-driven non-destructive technologies like NIRS, FTIR for crop quality prediction and valorization. Now I humbly request Mr. Bhushan to carry forward the discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Rosie, for this kind introduction. And it's this really wonderful panel because we wanted this panel exclusively for the government. And we have wonderful people, Imran Hashmi sir and Dr. Simardeep Kaur. Thank you so much for being in this panel. So I just would like to, jump in the questions rather, like we have discussed so much about AI and future labs. So aren't you all curious to know what exactly the government is doing? Are you? Yes or no? Say yes. Yes, thank you so much for your response. So we are, you know, like, I just would like to know, the government is taking many initiatives, and, you know, like, we have many slides from Dr. Priya as well, how the government is, you know, taking strides into the AI or the future tools. So I just would like to know what kind of changes are happening in the machine learning and the tools at the FSSI's end.
Well, that's a wonderful question. But first of all, I would like to begin with what FSSAI is and what's the objective of FSSAI. As majority of you might be from the analytical background, so though you might not be well versed with the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. So at the outset, I would like to put forth the preamble of FSSAI, which says that an act to consolidate the laws related to food and to establish Food Safety and Standard Authority of India for laying down the science-based standards for the article of food and to regulate its manufacture, distribution, sales, retail, and import, so as to provide the safe and wholesome food for the human consumption and the matter related therewith and incidental thereto. This, in nutshell, it defines that the principal objective of establishment of FSSA, Food Safety and Standard Act, was to establish Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, to which we call FSSAI, and another objective was to consolidate the laws related to food. As we all know that there were number of laws related to food, and it was very difficult for any industry to get into the business of food because you required n number of approvals from the different authorities. So first of all what we did is consolidated all laws related to food into one, and then we established FSSAI in 2008 to lay down the science-based standards for the article of food. And here's the difficulty begins. Because earlier, before FSSAI, we were limited to the prevention of food adulteration only. A prime objective as a government was to limit the adulteration of food. But then with the establishment of FSSAI, we have shifted our paradigm from adulteration to the food safety. And when it comes to the food safety, it is completely a dynamic field which require ever-growing changes in the regulations.
What is more challenging between the food safety or the adulteration?
Definitely food safety is more challenging. It is not just limited to adulteration, but it requires a holistic approach to consider each and every aspect of food, each and every stage of food. So therefore, now as of today, we have more than 22 regulations related to different foods which are implementable. And to implement a regulation or to test a food, the backbone is laboratory. So unless and until you're not the part of us, we rarely will be able to do anything. So thanks a lot for this Analytical Lab India conference, for giving us opportunity to learn something more regarding the laboratories and to see that what possibly can be done from our side to improve the food safety of the nation. And before beginning anything else, I would like to put up a disclaimer that all the views presented here are my individual.
That's why important we discuss those things.
and if something goes wrong, that I will be solely responsible, and my words should not be taken as the words of FSSAI. Otherwise, it is really difficult for us to participate in such an event, because if anything goes wrong, then people started directly blaming. For our mistake, the organization is being blamed. So please consider that this is my personal view out of the experience from the academic as well as FSSAI.
I mean, yes, food labeling laws has claims, and this is one of the claim of the conference. Well, now Sivadeep, now you have been working a lot on spectroscopy, on AI. So I just would like to know how you are working on the building those algorithms when you're working into the the state of Northeast, because that's something, they are very different products, and how you're comparing all these things, because spectroscopy is very niche technology, and you're working to develop those standards and building those algorithms. So what exactly challenges you're facing?
So
Firstly, when we talk about AI, so it's like an ocean, as so many people have already discussed. There are several algorithms, like we talk about 1D CNN, random forest, support vector machine, LSTM, inception, so many things. So when you couple those algorithms with spectroscopy, mainly like NIR, FTIR, which are kind of non-destructive and rapid evaluation methods, you make a correlation of the spectral fingerprints along with the reference data. It's high quality reference data, I must say. So when you have it, you can predict, you can do the modeling for the key quality traits, including say protein content, oil composition, which are pretty much important aspects when we talk about industry level, because they have batch to batch variations, they need formulations, maybe oil blends, like you talked about Northeast India question. So for in Northeast India, there are several underutilized crops which are not into the mainstream agriculture. I'm pretty much 100% sure many of you people haven't heard the names of 90% of those crops. I also did not hear until I reached Northeast India.
Absolutely, I mean.
So when we do these kind of modelings, what we are trying to do is we are easing the work of plant breeders. Because when we talk to the plant breeders, they say we are good enough with food security, we are good enough with yield, but the problem is nutritional security, nutritional phenotyping. You cannot simply say a person, okay, you get 2000 samples and do protein, amino acid profiling in just 2 days. That's not possible at all. It's expensive, it's low throughput, it generates a lot of chemical waste, but when you switch to the modeling like NIR or FTIR, you do that work in maybe 2 or 3 days rather than 2 or 3 months. So that's how plant breeders, we are just assisting plant breeders to do nutritional phenotyping with just a quick scan of NIR modeling so that they can screen large number of varieties and can come up with nutritious varieties along with without compromising with the yield, especially for the northeastern hill region of India. So yeah.
I mean, that's very interesting when you pointed out that Northeast India, many people may not be aware of many food products, but I just would like to add one more thing with my experience because I earlier have served the nodal agency of Ministry of Food Processing Industries, particularly for the Maharashtra state, and I was assigned to sanction the projects for the Maharashtra state during that tenure. The government of India has sanctioned 42 mega food parks all over India. And those 42 mega food parks, they're just like a small village. They have the laboratory system and they have the waste management, of course the production and the waste management facility. If anything comes and like it goes out as a product. So with that concept, government has established mega food parks, and if I just speak about this Maharashtra state, there are two mega food parks in Maharashtra. One is in Satara and one is in Python, and those were sanctioned during my term, and afterwards I resigned. So I just would like to ask Imran, like you're working on how we ensure that AI system or this modeling is perfect with the government, or how they're trying to address the reliability of this modeling, because we have so many samples, so many people, so many variants.
Thank you for this wonderful question. But first of all, I would like to tell you all that in order to develop any robust AI system, the principle behind it is availability of data. And data is one of the biggest concern for development of any AI-based modeling system. In order to generate the data, earlier we were limited to the offline available data only, which was full of errors. Now with the advent of FSSAI, now we are trying to digitalize everything. For an instant, if you must have heard of FOSCOS. It is a food safety compliance system through which every single registration, right from a person establishing a dhaba to a five-star hotel, everyone is in the form of soft data available today. Besides this, later on, we realized the need of establishing one Phoscoris system. Phoscoris system was basically a food safety risk-based compliance system. So that now if we have say 10,000 industries here, 10,000 establishment here in Maharashtra, so it will be virtually impossible to inspect every single industry due to the unavailability of resources and the human resources and other things. So what we are doing today, that we are analyzing the industries on the basis of past experience, on the basis of past inspection, that where exactly, in which particular month, in which particular festival season, and in which particular sector of industry, there are possibility of compromising of food safety. So accordingly now,
And how do you divide those sectors?
these are based on category of systems. Initially means whenever, if you are an FBO and if you are registering for the license or registration, then you are supposed to select the category in which you fall into.
Okay.
So after once you have selected which particular category is there, and on the basis of past available data, say now for almost 9 years of data we have, we decide that in which particular month and in which particular year, in which particular season, which particular area is prone to which particular kind of hazard. And accordingly, everything is planned as per the risk by the computers and not by the humans. So this is one of the basic initiative we have begun with in order to implement the analysis of data and its utilization for ensuring the safety of food. Besides that, this is one of the concern related to the inspection. Likewise, you can go for another system established by Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, that is called FIX, that is Food Import Clearance System. So it is a system which has been integrated with the ICE Gate, that is the custom software for whatever the coming in India. And through this system, now we have the data of almost 3 to 7 years, that which particular food is being implemented from which, is being imported from which country, and on the basis of data available for 3 years now, we are able to predict that what is the possible hazard which could occur in which particular food from which particular country. So as I said, that in order to begin with, or in order to go towards the artificial intelligence, the first and foremost requirement is availability of robust error-free data. So as of today, the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India is under the process of collecting, optimizing, cleaning the data, and doing the work on the basis of that.
And how do you decide that those things are free of bias?
See, as far as the artificial intelligence or computer system is concerned, there is rare possibility of biasness in that. Unless and until it has been processed or it has been programmed in the way to be biased, otherwise there are rarely chances of any biasness in this. Besides that, as far as development of a, say, AI system is concerned, AI model is concerned, so it has to go through the number of hands in order to prevent any kind of biasness in the system. And once the system is developed, then the possibility of biasness is already have been received.
I mean, there are many challenges when we begin any work, and as Simadip, you're working in NIR, so what exactly challenges you analyze to face those, challenges?
I think first and most important is high quality reference data. As sir also said, the data is the most important thing. There is a huge difference. We have also tried, if you do one experiment in one lab, say with, for example, we are doing protein content analysis. So we are doing it using Zeldal in one lab, and you are using Dumas method in second lab. Your results might vary. So that robust, high quality reference data is first challenge. Second thing is, since these models are generally crop specific or trait specific. For example, you developed a very robust equation for estimation of certain trait in rice. You cannot transfer the same traits or the model to the other leguminous crop or oilseed crop. That is not possible. So these are not transferable. And variability across instruments, that also challenges the standardization and transferability. Another thing is spectism, I can say that. So people are like, they don't still don't want to rely on these models. They still, it's hard to believe the accuracy or prediction accuracy, because see, AI is like a black box. you don't see what's happening inside, right? You cannot see that, but something is happening. As ma'am also said, that it's like AI is like a kid. Whatever you train, it will learn. So these are some of the things. So we need to have many challenges for the automation. Another thing is device integration. So it's very difficult to integrate the entire spectral region to a miniaturized device. So we have to find certain segments or key wavelengths that we can integrate to those devices, portable devices. Yeah.
And is there any plan or how government is trying to promote FSSI in particular with all the technologies in the industry?
Definitely, AI has a huge scope
AI or future tools
for its applicability in every government sector.
Okay.
And the government sector specifically are not just limited to one particular thing.
Okay.
Rather, it involves education, enforcement, prediction. Especially, I would like to stress upon the development of prediction model, what FSSAI is presently in the process of, in order to see that how we can prevent or how we can pre-detect the fraud as well as the food safety hazards in food. And this particular development requires huge amount of data, as I stressed earlier also. But as of now, the AI, basically if you see, then AI is in the nascent state. And unless and until we have the robust data with respect to every particular aspect, what we want to automate or what we want to take the help of artificial intelligence in, that will require the data collection. And as of now, we are in the process of development. Especially the training is one of the concerns which can be principally and predominantly resolved with the help of this artificial intelligence. As far as the rest of the things are concerned, the data development is the basic thing. But as far as training is concerned, you might have seen certain kind of application like Food Connect app, or you might as you are the trainer for FOSTAC also.
Absolutely.
So it is a food safety training and
maybe everyone here should download that app. Maybe you should.
yeah, Food Safety Connect is an Android as well as App Store app available to put up your concern related to food. So whenever if you find something objectionable or if you find something might not complying the act, then in that case you can easily go to that app, take the picture of that particular FBO or a particular condition, and then you can send it, and within a month, possibly within 8 days, the action will be taken towards that particular industry or that particular FBO based on your observation as well as the inspection by the Food Safety Authority of India. So this is one thing, and beside that, what we really came to learn, that if you are having no business, you are into the business of food. So if you are not able to go anywhere else, you prefer to go into the business of food. So that creates one of the biggest challenge, that at an instant we want to follow the international laws, we want to be equivalent to Codex Alimentarius Commission and IFSA, but at another instant we are having some people which are lack in basic understanding of hygiene. So it was principally necessary to teach. Now we cannot say someone to go out and take a strict against towards the individual who knows nothing about the food or food safety. So in this case, the ideal situation is to train them, is to teach them what food safety is. And with that purpose, the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India has established FOSTAC, and Mr. Bhushan is one of the honorable trainer under the FOSTAC to provide the training to these individuals. Now, as of today, this training is principally being provided with the help of the trainers, but tomorrow we want to replace Mr. Bhushan with the AI system.
That could be a possibility. Everyone's job is in,
so that he can involve himself in doing some major other research work, and we can limit the basics which are to be taught to the common masses. That could be done with the help of development of food safety boards, as well as we want to plan, we desire to plan a system by which we could simplify the food safety regulations. Because whenever you read it or whenever you see the report, it finds section 2.3.1 of a specific regulation underlying, laying down, not complying, considered under, and various other technical jargons which are difficult to be understand by a common mass. So therefore, in near future, we hopefully will develop a system by which you will be able to simplify the law for each and every food business operator. Similar kind of situation we faced in past also, that there are a number of food business operator who were dealing with the food, but they were not knowing which category my food belongs to, or what are the specifications or what are the parameters which I need to follow for my specific food product, because they are so illiterate as far as the food standard is concerned that they were not knowing anything. So in this concern, Food Safety and Standard Authority of India has established Foodocopoeia, in which if you put up your food product, then accordingly that decides and that summarizes that what are the various laws or what are the various standards you need to follow for that particular food category. So we are still in the process and we are trying to do our best, and such kind of conferences is one of the source for of learning for us, so that we can
Absolutely.
proceed for implementation in near future.
I mean, currently we stay in a country where more than 50% of population depend on agriculture and allied activities. The farmers, the what you call shopkeepers, and food technologists like us as well. We depend on food and agriculture allied activities. So we mark those 50% of population. So importantly, I would like to ask, I am the food scientist who work in the farmers especially during the market survey. We go to the farmers, we survey the market, we work on climatic conditions, we work on supply chain parameters, the price supply chain. That's very important to farmers to understand, and we analyze those algorithms, because those algorithms we need to work on, and we need to develop the graphics, and that determines the food security issues, because currently we have entered into petrochemical business as well as a biotechnology consultancy, and we have been particularly working on the rice and maize as a main crop supply chain. So Simardeep, I just would like to ask one question. You have also been working with the farmers in what are your real world examples, how you are connecting with the farmers to understand the supply chain, or how you determine the AI modeling when you are working with the farmers?
So we have a ABI set up in our institute, Agri-Business Incubator. So a scientist is working as a PI over there. So we every twice in a year, we mostly unemployed youth of Northeast India, or the progressive farmers, or the FPO groups. We ask them, we train them. For example, a scientist has developed some technology. So we talk to that scientist, and those scientists and that group is used to train those farmers. So we also help them in getting grants from state governments or from other organizations.
And what is the income of those progressive farmers, if I may ask? Because
Yeah.
that's very important to discuss in this
Sir,
conference.
as of now, we have, I think, more than 30 plus incubatees with our institute, and their income ranges from 6 lakhs to,
That's interesting.
6 lakhs to, I think, 35 lakhs per year. And
That's
they're
quite
also
interesting,
hiring,
remarkable, no?
yeah, they're also hiring 4 to 5 individuals for help, a woman farmer, because Meghalaya is more of a woman
Absolutely.
dominating state. So the women farmer are more active in that region. Second thing is, we also developed a mobile application. It is available on Play Store as well, called as Farmers E-Market app. So where, for example, this pineapple, it's huge. So like lot of tons of pineapple has been wasted because it doesn't go into processing until market reach. So what farmers can do is, they can put their whatever the amount they have in that app, and directly buyers can directly go to that app, even if they are sitting in different parts of the India. If they want, they can buy directly from the farmer. So there are no middlemen involved. There is no fee that you have to pay for an app. There is no registration, nothing. Directly a farmer can sign up, put as a commercial crop or whatever it is, and the buyers can directly buy from the farmer, and they deliver also based on the how much load is there, and directly payment will be made to the farmer's account. So that is one of the thing last year our institute had made, and it is using well in Northeast India, and we also got copyright for that app recently. And other thing is, generally mainly we just used to plan some trainings, farm demonstrations. We have a TSP plan that is called as tribal sub plan. It's an ICR's initiative, so for the tribal category farmers.
It's only for the tribals?
Yeah, it is only for
Okay.
tribal category,
That's
like for example, distributing inputs, training them, sensitizing them, and helping them even to get the FSSI licenses, because they don't know, they have the product. So we help them in quality analysis. We have a full-fledged lab in Manipur as well as in Meghalaya. So we do the quality analysis, checks, and some other like HPLC or other better techniques that can quantify those composition of their product, and then we help them getting in writing patents. And then also if one of the farmers recently come up with the variety, rice variety, which is having better yield as compared to the Czech variety. So 1 year almost our team of crop sciences, breeding and biochemistry, they helped him in getting the protection from the PPVFRA, Government of India. So he got the plant protection variety certificate from the PPV. That's how we are just farmer scientist interactions, and every once in a month we have a session, farmer scientist interaction. So we'll listen and we.
That's very interesting. What initiative from ASI, they're just trying to, or they're just trying to collaborate with FSSI. Now, how FSSI is trying to collaborate with the research institutes?
Well, basically, FSSAI cannot work without the collaboration of the institutions, the consumers, the food business operator, and every single stakeholder. As you see that FSSAI have a hierarchy in which majority of scientific work is being done by the real-time scientists. They are from everywhere, right from the National NIFTAM, Indian Institute of Technology, CFTRI, and even from
Agricultural University.
definitely there are 3 to 4 professors from the College of Food Technology, Parbhani, who are in these scientific panels. Basically, we have more than 12 scientific panel specialized in every single category of food. For example, we have a separate scientific panel for bakery industry, a separate for fruit and vegetable industry, and likewise. So without the collaboration of scientists, as the Food Safety and Standard Act is to lay down the science-based standards, so without the collaboration and the involvement of the scientist and the institution, we cannot do anything. And beside that, I would like to invite you, if you are specialized in a specific field of food technology, to be the part of this scientific panel members, and by which not just you can contribute to the development of a standard, but at the same time you as a business can put forth your concerns also, so that a particular standard should not be limited to the hypothetical scientific aspects only, but it must have the safety as well as the practicality. Because if I say that reduce the level of a specific color to the 0.01 ppb, and that would not be possible for any industry to do on the practical level, then it means nothing. The law should be something which should be acceptable and implementable. So in order to do so, if you are the part of laboratory, or if you are the part of laboratory specifically, then you can directly contact us to the advisor.qa@fssai.gov.in, and whatever the concern you have as far as the analysis of food is concerned, you can put forth to us, and we will work on it, and we will try to see that whether it is actually implementable, practical or not, and then it could be the part of regulation as well.
Prior to conference, I had been to, visited few stalls, and the microscope is one of the important technique. And do you have any, inputs how it is being used in AI development?
I guess you have worked a lot in this field, so you would be the better person than me to answer this. So I would ask you how microscopy helps in this area.
I mean, thank you so much. I mean, I think, yeah, I'm very fortunate that I work with, I did a project with Mondelez International, and that was very interesting. And I assume that, you know, the microscopy has a lot of chances to, you know, with a shift on a larger scale to in the AI sector, to be honest. And if I understand everything, I have worked on the scanning electron microscopy, then flat band microscopy, and X-ray diffraction microscopy. I find the chances of X-ray diffractions are more to get into this particular gamut of AI, because my job was to analyze the caramel, the fresh caramel from Boneville, and we know how we detect the quality of caramel or any confectionery. We take the sample, we titrate, and we evaluate the quality. But my research was to understand and develop the technique and to analyze under the physical parameter, under the microscope, and to scrutinize the sample and to quantify the product. So my research shows that the particular microscopy of X-ray diffraction, but that's more expensive. We need some, more visible microscopies in this research work. So, what exactly the policies of government are to promote? Is government trying to promote policies to develop these policies and come with any conclusion in AI or in developed tools?
No, before that, can I ask one question to
Please,
Imran?
please, sir, please.
Please,
Yeah,
sir.
because you are talking about the post-tac training. But as of today, how many FSSI officers have been trained on AI or ML?
Sir, as you might know that there is one initiative from the Prime Minister's office which has specified and has in fact necessitated to complete a certain courses online, in which one of the course was related to the morals and ethics, and one of the course I remember is related to the artificial intelligence. So don't be afraid that the government officers are not in touch at all. But in fact, we also know a bit and pieces of this artificial intelligence, because everyone is supposed, as far as central government is concerned, everyone is supposed to be the part of that course, and we were supposed to qualify that exam and then submit the certificate to office that we also do know something about the artificial intelligence.
Indigenous only?
No, it is compulsory for everyone. It is online course.
Courses only from Indian officers or Indian industry, or
No,
from other countries, developed countries? That's
No,
what
no, sir. It is from the government of India only. Government of India has specified one website. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name of that particular website, in which all these courses are available, and government officers are supposed to register there and to
No, no,
learn not just AI but also the.
No, my point is
Yes.
that much enough knowledge is available indigenously, or you have to borrow from the US particularly, or maybe other countries like Germany.
Sir, as far as now, we are limited to the basics only.
Okay.
I can't say that I'm an expert of AI, because
No, it's okay.
as of today we are just diving into this system, and we can't. I don't believe that one of us, or maybe those who has completed the course, is an expert in AI. But see, this AI system development, AI modeling development involves participation from different stakeholders. And one of the major stakeholder as far as India is concerned is NIC, that is National Informatics Center. And in order to generate or develop a system, the persons like me or those who belongs to the other department, not exactly directly concerned with the information technology or IT sector, we are, as of today, we are supposed to at least know that how and where these AI system can be implemented in our particular sector, in our particular organization. Uh, we as an individual, we being an expert of food, can never develop an AI system without the involvement of other stakeholder and other computer or AI expertise. So as of today, what I think is expected from us to learn the basic, to understand that in your field where it can be implemented and how it can be implemented, and on the basis of that we need to develop some algorithm which need to be shared with the IT experts in order to develop the AI models. Thank you.
So I just want, we had so many discussions, so many presentations, so I just would like to have a quick question in one, yes or no, in a conclusion. Can sensory evolution, are we replacing with AI?
I don't think that
That's
sensory evaluation can be wholly replaced by the AI, because see, sensory evaluation is something which is based on your senses,
Absolutely.
and it also keeps changing
Absolutely.
with the availability of food material, etc. Today we see that whatever the snack foods, confection, particularly snacks food we take, are basically high in flavoring substances.
Okay.
Earlier, a test bud were not used to it, but due to the cheap availability of flavors probably, or maybe due to the test bud alteration or upgradation in the sense of the kids, now that system of testing the food, which was whatsoever was earlier, has been completely changed. So AI, as the madam also stated, that it can help in sensory evaluation, but as such, it can, to the best of my knowledge, it can never replace at least the sensory evaluation of food.
And now we are concluding in one word now. Okay. Maybe Simadip from you. What is the blueprint for tomorrow?
Blueprint for tomorrow, I guess iteration,
All right.
because no breakthrough is version like 2, 3, 4. We always go till n number of versions, right? Even if you develop anything. So we all are, I think, still relearning, unlearning, again relearning, and iterating. So that's how India's lab, inside India's lab. So it's iteration, one word. Blueprints for tomorrow. Thank you so much.
And if you, like, if I may ask you, what exactly one word for blueprint for tomorrow?
Blueprint for tomorrow is generation of robust, error-free data today.
Okay.
That's all what I can say.
Oh. Not replacing FSSAI. That's quite important. And if I may answer it, I would say the happiness, because food is all about happiness, and we, food scientists, food technologists, we create happiness every time. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been wonderful to be with you, sharing happiness of food processing industry as a scientist. And I would like to thank our panelists, Imran and Simardeep. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, to you for sharing the happiness with us.
Thank you for giving me opportunity to participate in this event. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this engaging panel discussion. Now we have reached to the conclusion of this session. All the panels, discussion, and talk has been over. Now I request audience to ask questions if you have any to the speakers or the panel members. Anybody from the audience have any questions?
Yes, I have question from Imranji. So I'm also working in the area of food. Basically, I belongs to ICR only, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Central Institute for Research on Cotton Technology. So my question is, when we are going to markets, so we will find FSSAI logo everywhere, whether it is a food vendor, whether it is a street vendor. So how to find whether they are reliable or not? Because generally nowadays blockchain is very common to all the marketplaces, whether it is textile, whether it is any other industry. So my question is how to identify those false positives, like
Well, thank you for this wonderful question, although it was not the first time being asked to us. That as I have already, okay. So thank you. As I have already mentioned that as far as the food industry in India is concerned, uh, everyone who is not doing anything is a part of food business. So what happens? Generally, it means the consumer wants to believe that if it is FSSAI, it is safe, right? But sometimes it becomes a concern when you find FSSAI at the place which do not worth being the part of FSSAI, right? So your question is how to ensure that everything, whatever FSSAI, everyone having the FSSAI license is following the standards or not. So as far as the government is concerned, the major concern of government is to bring every food business operator under the umbrella of FSSAI. The first step is to bring the operators under the umbrella of FSSAI. Then take them towards the basic awareness, basic hygiene. Then take them towards the standards and basic standards related to food. And then to go towards the minor element or the highly sophisticated aspect of food or regulation that should be covered by the specific food business operator. We do know that sometime it happens that those industry who do not deserve those, rather I would say not industry, but I would say the food business operator, PT food business operator particularly, those who not deserve to be the part of FSSAI are having FSSAI license, yet they are not following the basic hygienic requirement or the basic concern. So in that case, we are trying our level best to resolve the issue, but we cannot do anything without the help of yours. And therefore, we want your participation to remove these false positive from the food safety and standard registered system or license system. And in fact, I would not say that no, FSSAI is having everything perfect. We are still evolving. We are still in the process of making a food better. So we will try our level best. We are trying our level best to remove such kind of things. We normally suspend the licenses. Very huge amount of licenses are being cancelled, are being rejected, are even being suspended if we come across the such case. But in other case, if you came across such an incident, then it's your responsibility to download the Food Safety and Connect and let your concern come to FSSAI. That if you see, if that particular, if a particular area where a food safety officer never visited or has never gone, so nobody is concerned about the food safety there. And fortunately, if you reached there and you found that anyone is not following the Food Safety and Standard Act, we promise you that the information provided by you or those who are providing the information will be kept confidential, and every possible action could be taken against such food business operator to remove them from the food safety or to eliminate such kind of errors in food safety.
okay. So my question was whether FSSAI can do some blockchain that someone can go scan the QR code and information of that product can come.
Yes.
So if we are doing this now, then it will be more easy to be traceable.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And this concern was a major concern for us because some food business operators were so illiterate that they don't know whether they have got FSSAI license or not. And with the advent of Photoshops, there were some people who used to Photoshop someone's FSSAI license and give to them the food business operators. And food business operators were happy that we got the FSSAI license. But in fact, there was no such even license, registration that existed. So in that case, we have a website called FOSCOS. In FOSCOS, you have an option, a tab called FBO search. There, whenever you see FSSAI logo, there will be a 14-digit number, license number of any particular what you called food business operator. So either you can enter that number into FOSCOS website and you can check the authenticity that whether this license actually exists or not. Plus, the barcode system is coming in the latest licenses, by which if you scan the barcode, you will be able to get information that this particular FSSAI license belongs to this particular FBO, along with the category of business he do or he get involved in.
Yes, thank you. But being a customer, it is very difficult always that a 14 number of digit is put inside.
Barcode is being the part now.
Yes.
For upcoming licenses,
Yeah.
your point is well taken.
Yes.
And we will discuss with our FOSCOS team that how we can ensure the simplicity in the operation to check the authenticity of the licenses.
Thank
So
you very
thank you for
much.
concern.
Thank you.
Now we
Sir, I
have,
have a
I think his suggestion
We
is that
have time
whenever you
constraint.
give the license number, with
There
that
should be a
license number at the end you should put a barcode so that it is very
Yeah,
easy.
it is-
That is what his suggestion, I think.
The latest licenses are with the barcode now. The past licenses need to be upgraded. And we'll do the upgradation of past licenses too.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
your point is well taken.
Mr.
Thank you.
Imran, I have a query for you. Yeah,
I
Yes, sir.
request
I have a query
audience,
for
we
you.
have
Just
time
one minute.
constraint, so you can take the questions one to
Yeah.
one to the
Sir,
speaker. Now I request
when we
Leonara
are
to
talking
carry
about
forward the
millets,
session.
when we are talking about millet products, so when we make alternative milk, like say oat milk or a millet milk or a soya milk, FSSAI is not allowing us to use the word. Mic क्यों बंद कर रहे हो भाई? Yeah, FSA is not allowing us to use the word milk, basically. And now we have got this completely adulterated paneer, which is not made from milk, which is made from starches, fats, and emulsifiers. Okay, then in that also there are various levels. Who does it in a jhopadpatti, who does it in a factory, and everything. And FSSAI is allowing it. You are creating a health epidemic in India, and on one hand, you are not allowing me to use millet milk, oat milk, soya milk, almond milk as a milk. So we cannot write MILK. And here, for you are allowing all the duplicate paneer to be called as paneer. I mean, I just can't understand this. And there are so many food scientists associated with you. How can you allow this?
So you are done
Yeah.
with your question?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you. So as far as milk is concerned, there is a regulation called dairy terms, which limits the use of word milk. Because now what will happen if you use this word for any particular product, say soya milk or oat milk or almond milk. So I'm actually not the right person because I'm not into the formulation of that particular regulation. But to the best of knowledge, all what I believe, that the misleading use of dairy term, in order to avoid the misleading use of the dairy term milk, this has been prevented. Let me complete, sir. And as far as your another concern is concerned, that is availability of paneer or duplication of paneer.
Which is not made from milk.
Yes, which is not made by the milk. FSSAI will take the action against them, and soon you will
Sir,
come to
this
know
is
that
a
what action has been taken.
Pan-India epidemic today. Zomato is officially selling this paneer in lakhs of tons. Zomato.
Sorry to interrupt.
Sir, actually, I'm very sorry to interrupt. Due to time constraints, we have to this. Maybe we can take this one-on-one later because
Yes,
we
I
are
will
already-
take this question
yeah.
personally with you.
Yeah, just to honor everybody's time. I'm extremely sorry, but yes, it's been such an exciting and knowledge-enriching session. I mean, it could go on and on and on, but really we don't have that much time. And our speakers who have come much earlier have very patiently waited and given their presentation.
So I would like to thank all our esteemed speakers, panelists, and moderator for such an insightful and future-focused discussion. So the lab of future doesn't seem, quite distant. It's here and it's evolving faster than ever. So on behalf of the organizers, I would now like to take a moment, to express our gratitude to all our panelists, speakers, and moderator for their time shared with us today and patiently answering the questions by the audience. So I would like to call Mr. Ankit Bora, Deputy Business Unit Head, Messe Munchin India, to do the honors. So I'll call the speakers on stage, and at the end, we'll have a group picture with everyone. Yeah, so I would like to invite Dr. Pradeep Chakrabarti. We would now like to thank and felicitate Dr. Shankar Kosle. We would now like to thank and felicitate Dr. Priya Sundarajan. I think they really deserve a round of applause. I know everyone's exhausted with a lot of knowledge, but just a few more minutes. To do the next honors, I would like to call Miss Rosie, Secretary of AFSTI Mumbai Chapter, to thank and felicitate Dr. Jyoti Vora. May I invite, let's all, keep those claps going for some more time, because they've really, shared a lot of insights that they had with all of us. We would now like to thank and felicitate Dr. Fatima Jabalpural. Is she here? She's okay. So I would now like to thank and felicitate Miss Alina Babrekar. We would now like to thank and felicitate Dr. Kavita Pandey. We would I'd like to call Mr. Bhushan to do the next honor. May I call on stage Dr. Preeti Amritkar for moderating her session so seamlessly. Next, we would like to thank and felicitate Mr. Imran Hashmi. Sir, you can do. We would now like to thank and felicitate Dr. Simardeep Kaur. Come on, guys. And now I would again like to call Mr. Ankit Vora, Deputy Business Head, Messi Munchin, to thank and felicitate Mr. Bhushan for moderating his session so seamlessly. Thank you all once again. And now I would request all our panelists, speakers, and moderators, so we'll have a group picture. Yeah, so everyone on the stage, would we fit, no? May I request all our speakers to come on stage for a group picture? So first we'll have it, and then maybe we can continue with few more pictures. Yeah, everyone on stage, please.